Good afternoon, friends, and welcome to a mobile edition of Crime Time with DutyRon. We are out here in Massapequa Park, Long Island, just a block away from First Avenue. They have the area roped off so cars can't get up. But I just wanted to do this live stream for you guys to give you an accurate depiction of the distance between Rex Heuermann's home here in Massapequa Park, where he grew up, lived with his parents, born and raised here in Massapequa Park, Long Island. The person who is under arrest and innocent until proven guilty, obviously, but charged with the murders of three out of the four Gilgo Beach murder victims. But we're just a block away. We're on Broadway in Michigan, which is one block away from the crime scene. I've got it zoomed in. If you look just beyond these police officers, these Suffolk County police, that next block where the stop sign is right there is First Avenue. And if you go to the right of First Avenue is the house. I think it's 3 houses in. So the people who are in these houses right here on this block are the backyard of the Gilgo Beach murderer. So people have actual stanchions out in front of their house where they're blocking people off from parking there, because as I'm here with Mrs. DutyRon, and it was a rainy, kind of crummy day today, so we figured we'd take a ride out here so you guys could see this location. I'm not going to get out. I could walk up to First Avenue, but that's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is I want to show you guys, because as we know, with high probability, this alleged perpetrator did not murder these girls where they were found, and that we call it the dump location, the dump site in Gilgo Beach along Ocean Parkway. But what I wanted to show to you is the relevancy and how close his residence is to Ocean Parkway, and how he possibly took a ride in. We're going to take this ride from his First Avenue home in Massapequa Park to Gilgo Beach. Hopefully my Wi-Fi, my cell service holds up for the ride. It may be bumpy at times because we're going to drive along Sunrise Highway and onto the Parkway. And once I start moving, obviously I won't be looking at the comments. So I want to just say hello to everybody while I'm parked here. Again, Mrs. DutyRon is with me. And she agreed to take this little ride with me out to the beach. We're not going to get out at the beach, and it's not going to be specific locations. But as we know, these four victims were at different intervals, at different spots, but they were all very close in proximity. So yes, I will drive like a cop. I'll drive slow and carefully. But again, I won't be looking at it. I cannot see if they're digging up the yard, but they would have to have real good purpose to dig up the yard. So let me just say hello to everybody who's in the chat. Cammie Burkett. Hello to Tara Ellis. Rebecca, thank you for being here. Dr. Pamela Chillette, thank you. Blessed Sunday to you as well. Hoping some of the mods are in here as well, because once I get moving, I'm not going to be able to look at the comments. Dawn Marie, okay, great. Good to see you, Dawn Marie. Hoping Joey Brooklyn will show up. So shout out to the mod squads, and shout out to everybody who is here in this live. If you can, share it out. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a ride from this location and drive out to Ocean Parkway to Gilgo Beach. This is probably, it's not confirmed, but this is probably in all likelihood of the potential of what he did. We don't know where he killed these victims. Did he kill them in his home here on First Avenue in Massapequa Park, where I am on location right now? Or did he kill them at a different location, perhaps at a motel or a secluded area within his vehicle, and then bring them out to Gilgo Beach? We don't know. These are the unknowns. Tom Cusinelli, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Janelle Woodward says, thank you to DutyRon and your wife. You want to say hi to them, Mrs. DutyRon? She shakes her head no, but she does appreciate that you guys are here and you are supporting. Mrs. DutyRon's a little shy, even if she's not on camera. Imagine that. So all these cars that you see going by and people walking up, that's First Avenue right there. Okay, we'll let this pool company go by. Right where my finger's pointing, the next block over here. Ooh, how creepy. 666 was just in the chat. The number 666. So right where this police car is, forward of these foot officers on foot, is right at that stop sign on the right, folks, is First Avenue. And all of these cars are either people who live in the neighborhood or people who are coming to get out and see. And there's a bunch of people standing on this side of the street looking down at that location. Yes, it is. It is a beautiful location. This is a beautiful neighborhood, and again, we're gonna drive the route to Gilgo Beach, where the Gilgo 4 were found by canine police dogs while searching, on December 10th of 2010. For Shannon Gilbert. So Shannon Gilbert, in part, is her death. Suffolk County Police deemed her death to be an accident. I don't buy that, but that's the official cause of Shannon Gilbert's death. But had Shannon Gilbert not called 911 and the residents that she knocked on the door where we're going to go now, had those 2 residents or 3 residents, people who reside there where she knocked on the door, had not called 911 to give the address, the police dispatchers wouldn't have been able to get to the location. And Shannon Gilbert is in part responsible for the apprehension, ultimately, of Rex Heuermann. So Rex Heuermann is in part, in my eyes, in custody because of Shannon Gilbert's actions on the night of December 11th, 2010. So it's kind of shocking. It's kind of like, eerie to think of that way, but essentially that's the situation here. All right, I'm zoomed in on the camera, so I'm going to zoom out. Hopefully that this doesn't ruin the stream, but I'm going to try it right now. Let me go to my settings. Camera. Hold on a second. Keep your fingers crossed that it doesn't mess up anything. Front camera. All right. Hopefully that worked. Oh, hi. It's us. I changed it around. Hold on. You're on camera right now. Let's see. Camera. Hi, guys. So back camera. There we go. All right. So that was interesting. All right. Hi. Everybody's saying hi to us. Yes. So it got turned around and it was in my face. As you can see, I'm at the wheel. Miss Donna Marie's laughing. Hi, Mrs. DutyRon. Jersey Devil said, we got to see you anyways. So she's laughing. Pat Hansen says, Mrs. DutyRon, beautiful. Classy lady, Mrs. DutyRon, DC, Pacific Northwest. She is shaking her head. Yes. Tax Cut says streamer. She's a good sport. Yes, she is a good sport. Yeah, Rob V says, I'm guessing he probably did more murders than these. I would have to imagine that he did do more murders than these. Most serial killers don't just stop with 4 people. And we don't know if he's responsible for the entire 11 bodies. And the 4 were wrapped in burlap and bound, but the other victims were dismembered, right? So it goes off of his MO. His, he could have changed, as Mrs. DutyRon said. Thank you for that, babe. He could have changed his MO. He could have gotten more violent, and more anger could have came out as he did more and more of these murders. So one doesn't know. We're not in the mind of this serial killer, but Rex is in custody. He is now in Suffolk County Jail in Yaphank. Yeah, people are just stopping. My wife is shaking her head because she's amazed. Like, this doesn't really give you guys a good depiction of what's happening here, but there's people parking from left to right and walking up, like entire families and husband and wife teams, and people just want to see this. And the police, these two young officers here that look like they're like our son's age, right? They are just doing crowd control, essentially, making sure cars don't drive up to First Avenue, which is, again, I'm zoomed out right now. Mrs. DutyRon has a nice laugh, says Verna Reed. Thank you. Thank you. And if I miss any super chats or any, thank yous or accolades, again, I want to just say thank you. So what we're going to do here, I don't have an external mic plugged in. I'm using the microphone from the phone. Let me know if the audio is good on the phone by putting a 1 in the chat. If the audio is good, please press a 1. If it's not, I can unplug and then put a mic in. But I think the audio on these iPhones are pretty darn good. What we got to do is hope and pray that the cell signal stands up when we get down towards Gilgo Beach. So we're going to be going south. Everybody's saying that the audio is good. All right, so let's do it. I have it. It's it's a 22-minute drive. It's 15 miles. Okay, so just so you guys have an idea, I'm going to show you on the screen here. So I'm at Michigan Avenue and Broadway right now, right? So it's 22 minutes, 15 miles from Rex's home to the site where the Gilgo 4 were recovered is 15 short miles. 15 miles, folks. Again, we've seen families get out of their cars and walk on up. This case has been on the radar and has really been in the back of the minds of many Long Islanders for a long time. But as Mrs. DutyRon could say, here comes the Nassau County Emergency Services Unit truck. There's a lot of activity going on here at this location. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they don't dig up this backyard just to be on the safe side, because what if he put body parts and started dismembering victims and they have to make sure. Whoever asked that question, I have a change of heart on that. I think that they may just dot their I's and cross their T's. They can't just go and start digging. They got to get a court order. You heard the Suffolk County District Attorney say that they had 300 warrants and subpoenas that they have executed in this case. I wouldn't be surprised if they aren't digging up this backyard. But as I go out here and pull off, right, the backyards of these homes right here, I'll take it off for you. So the backyards of these homes on border, their backyard goes straight up to the backyard of Rex Heuermann. So these homes that we're going to be passing here, potentially, I think it's the third house or fourth house in, they share a fence with this guy's backyard. So I'm sure that there's going to be drone footage and we're going to see lots of coverage on that if they start digging it up. Kayla, thank you for being a channel member. Thank you for becoming a member. And thank you to everybody who's in the chat. Like I said, when I start rolling, I'm not going to be watching the chat. So we're going to take a slow ride out to Gilgo Beach, to the actual location where the Gilgo 4 were recovered. So I'm going to ask the mods to keep a close eye on the chat. And as we start moving, if I get to a red light, I'll be able to glance over at the chat. Mrs. DutyRon is working the phone. She took a couple of pictures, I guess, for her friends. She wants to send it to the ladies that she works with or whatnot. But we're gonna start getting mobile here. So the route that we're taking, and Donna Marie and Dawn Marie, if you can remind some of the folks that are coming into this chat while I'm driving.
Oh shit!
What?
The size of that dog.
Oh wow!
Great Dane.
Oh, that's a big dog. Great Dane.
Wow.
He's not even on a leash.
No.
Moderators, if you could remind the folks who are coming in while I'm driving that we're going to be taking the route from the Gilgo 4 murder suspect's home to Gilgo Beach, where these bodies were dumped. All right. So we're going to take off now. It should be about a 20-minute ride, and then we'll get out there. I'll drive down to Gilgo Beach. Again, I'm not going to stop at the exact locations. I think, we'll see more footage, and you guys can go and look at footage where the exact locations are. But I'm going to give you a drive, and I think that this is going to be good for us to get an understanding exactly how close this evil monster lived to the dumping grounds of the Gilgo 4. And we can't forget about the other victims who need justice as well. So let's take a ride, putting it in gear, and we're going to take a slow ride out of here. Thank you, gentlemen, for your service.
Oh, you did look up.
So take care. Thank you. All right. So this house to the left right here, where these stanchions are set up, borders the backyard, I believe. Yeah, there it is. This house right here borders the backyard.
I just saw the red.
Yeah.
Yuck.
So you can see the red house. We just passed it. They border the backyard to his home. Ugh. That's got to be a gross feeling. I can't even make the left where I wanted to. Look, they got. Or is this
left onto Connecticut Avenue? Then turn
oh
left
no,
onto
I can't.
2nd Avenue.
This is just homeowners maybe putting up.
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah.
Okay, so this is First Avenue right up here on the left. You can see the state police. Oh, I didn't realize that we would have a look this way.
Turn left onto 2nd Avenue.
Yeah, I guess I have to close this end too.
So that's it right down there, folks. State police are here. Okay. Wow. Wow is right. All right. I gotta get this thing. Okay, there we go. Let's get that straight. All right. Very interesting, folks. A lot of police activity. Yeah, I got the GPS on. All right, so now I'm not going to be looking at the chat because I'm going to be rolling out of here. But there is a lot of police activity here. And now we're on the backside of First Avenue. These homes here, their backyards face the First Avenue street. I mean, listen, this whole neighborhood has to be in an uproar right now. A, they're shocked and surprised that a serial killer was living amongst them, right? And B, all of this attention surrounding Second and First. Yeah, so here, if you look, that's what it looks like down there. So you got the command post. Unbelievable. So this is a full look at the location without actually getting out and gawking. We're just doing a little drive-through, and now we are going to be driving to Gilgo Beach, Long Island. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to the super chatters. Thank you to the replay viewers. And if you're not yet subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll get all things DutyRon and Ed Wallace when we go live. So right now we're starting the drive. This could be the potential drive. He may have taken a different route. Obviously, I don't know what route he took.
Left onto Clark Boulevard, then turn right onto Broadway.
But this is his community. This is his neighborhood. This is how you would get out and get down to Gilgo Beach from his location if, in fact, he did murder any or all of his victims at his home. It's kind of creepy, kind of eerie, but it is what it is.
Take the second right onto Broadway, then turn right onto New York 27 West.
So I'm just following the GPS because I am not familiar with this area. So this is Sunrise Highway that we're coming up to up here. And then this is, I'm imagining will lead us out to one of the roads that leads to
Take the
Ocean
second right
Parkway.
onto New York 27 West.
And shout out to everyone who's going to critique my driving. I know that will happen. Like, hey, DutyRon, you didn't make a full stop at that stop sign. So I'm trying my best to make the full stops. So this is New York 27, Sunrise Highway. Let me know in the chat. I'm at a red light so I could look at the chat. Let me know if the signal's strong, if you guys can see good, if our dash cam is working well. This is the route. Again, for those of you who are joining, I see there's 1,400 people here. This is the route from the Gilgo Beach for accused murderer Rex Heuermann, his home in Massapequa Park, straight out to Gilgo Beach, Long Island on Ocean Parkway. Okay, Kat D saying it's fine, all good, says Bella Mia. Thank you. I'm here with Mrs. DutyRon. You want to say hi to them?
Are you gonna continue this the whole day?
Just
now?
say hi once.
Hi.
Okay, that's it.
Enough.
No more. I just got a really a sweet look, but a very stern look from Mrs. DutyRon. Like she mentioned, is this going to go on the whole time? I mean, I'm proud to say that you're with me. I usually do these either by myself or with Ed, so it's always good to have you here. Everybody sees good. The sign says no turn on red, so I'm abiding by all the rules and regulations of the road. Bob T says hello, Mrs. DutyRon. Okay, light is green. We're back to going.
Continue on New York 27 West for 4 miles.
All right, so from here, he had to go west on Sunrise Highway for 4 miles because, as we know...
You don't know...
Well, no, as we know, the
going.
route leads to Gilgo Beach. We are east of Gilgo right now, so we're heading back west right now. So that was a little bit of a back and forth. I don't know the route he took. I said that before. I'm saying it again. But this is how maps would take you straight out to Ocean Parkway. And that's what we're doing. We're on Sunrise Highway in Massapequa. It actually says it right there.
Massapequa Park.
Okay, Massapequa Park. Thank you. So there's the train station. It says Massapequa Park. Long Island.
City.
Yeah, this is the train station, arguably. Very good. Thank you, Viv. This is why I have you here. This is probably the train station that Rex took into Manhattan. And as you see, the train is pulling out, going west into the city. So this is given very good context for the people who are outside of the area, the general area. So this is the Massapequa Park Long Island Railroad station, arguably where Rex took his last trip into the city when he was arrested by Suffolk County, the FBI, state, and the whole task force, Nassau County, PD. All right, so we're rolling. I can't see the chat. I'm not looking at the chat, obviously, but just keep me advised at the next red light if the signal's holding up. And I'm praying that it does hold up, because once we get down towards the beach, I don't know how the signal's going to be. So this is all just guesswork. So it is taking us to the Wantaw Parkway, and is going to take us obviously south. So how's everybody doing today? Let me know in the chat and down in the comment section if this video is helpful for you as we proceed to the actual location where the Gilgo 4 victims were recovered on that fateful night, December 11th, 2010. Wow, it's amazing that 13 years ago, and here we are in 2023, and here we are with an arrest. The task force, and I'm at the red light now, the task force by former chief of the department and chief of the detectives, Rodney Harrison, was formed on February 1st, 2022, and in 5 short weeks, on March 14th, 2022, Rex Heuermann was named and identified within the task force as the Gilgo 4 suspect, the murder suspect. And he was under surveillance from March 14th, 2022, right up until his arrest on Friday. And that's a lot of surveillance 24/7, watching his movements online, in person. We see video of him in the cell store in Manhattan, upping his burner phones. Just to me, these detectives and investigators had to be shitting a brick when they were seeing his searches online. And we know now that they moved in on him because they were worried that he was going to kill again. So that's my question from last night. I asked, do we think that there's many more beyond the Gilgo 4 and many more beyond the 11 identified human remains that were found scattered across Long Island? Did he kill in Massachusetts? Did he kill those 4 women in Atlantic City? Remember, there was sets of 4. There's a lot of unanswered questions, and I'm hoping these investigators will get to the bottom of it. All right, so we have 2 miles to go here on Sunrise Highway, and we're just coming outside of Massapequa now. And there's going to be a street sign up there that's going to tell you about some of the roadways that are coming up. But Wantagh Parkway is what is our next target. We're going to hit Wantagh Parkway going south towards Jones Beach and Gilgo Beach. I don't know if there would be another way that he could go. I mean, maybe there's a back way, but eventually you have to get it.
You don't know where he was coming from when he went there.
Right, but I'm just
Not
saying,
necessarily his
if
home.
in fact he came from his home, we don't know. But
Yeah, he came from his home.
I wish YouTube was a little different, where we could put on like music, but if you put on the music, they don't like that. They hit you with these copyright strikes and all kinds of craziness. So we got to keep it quiet because YouTube is very picky about copyrights. When I used to go live on Periscope, which was the Twitter app, you could basically play music, any kind of favorite music that you want to play, all day, every day. And they never did anything about it. I like that so much better because you can have like music playing in the background as you're talking about cases and talking about stuff. But here on YouTube, no bueno, can't do it. So mods, if you could just remind everybody what we're doing. We're taking the what if scenario. What if our Gilgo Beach murderer did in fact do these murders at his home location or took the ride from here? This would be the path you'd have to drive in his Chevy Avalanche truck. But again, it's so close. I think, what did I say, 15 or 18 miles? 15 miles. I showed it on the screen. And now we're at the next main roadway that will lead straight down to the beach. And I think a lot of people, too, you see news reports. I'm at a red light, so I'll say hi to everybody. You see the news reports of Gilgo Beach and all of the spots where the bodies were recovered and the remains were recovered. And not a lot of people have a great idea of how it looks. And this is an overcast, kind of cloudy day, so it's not really sunny. So you might be able to see the roadway, pretty well, and there'll be no sun glare and so forth. So this might just give you a good idea of how remote this area is. There's no street lights down there. If you are on Ocean Parkway and you shut your lights out, you can't see in front of your face. It's pitch black. Unless, of course, the moon is, bright, shiny, and you'll have that lighting there. But on a regular night, I mean, it's dark. It's dark as heck down there. There's no street lights. And I saw somebody this morning in Sergeant Bill Cannon's live stream somebody said, do they have cameras down there now because of all these bodies that were discovered? The answer to that is no. You would have to have cameras. It's such a vast, it's so big. You'd have to have cameras everywhere. And along Ocean Parkway, there's no visible cameras.
Use the right lane to take the Wallace State Parkway south ramp to Jones Beach.
There's definitely no visible cameras down there. I mean, I was down there with Mrs. DutyRon maybe 2 years ago, and we did a drive. We did an actual park. I got out, she stayed in the car, and I walked some of the walkway along Ocean Parkway. It was creepy, it was eerie, and that was 2 years ago when we were covering this case. But I have that up on my channel, the video. Yeah. Okay, look good. All right, this is the Wallace State Parkway South that leads down. It's a 6 mile run from here. And I'm going to do the speed limit in the center lane. And that Massapequa Preserve, by the way, I did a look at it by Google Earth. If you have Google Earth or Google Maps, just Google Massapequa Park Reserve or Massapequa Reserve. And it is massive. And I heard on another news station that Nassau County and the Suffolk County Task Force, they're going to have to be doing drone and searches of that preserve as well. Because now you don't know. You don't know how many more victims could be out there potentially. And you have to cover all grounds. So they eventually are going to probably have to search that preserve, at least close by his house and as far as they can get. So there's a lot of work to do here. A whole lot of work. The sign to the right here says Ocean Parkway, 4 miles. How you doing? Good. I got the nod. From Mrs. DutyRon. So this is where I worry about the signal, but I see some cell towers on the left. Not many cars, so it won't be a lot of people using the cell service. And this is just a short 15-mile run. 4 miles on here, and then, I don't know, what would you say, about another 8 miles on Ocean Parkway? Yeah, because we're going to get down to Jones here. We're going to be on the back end of Jones, where the theater is. And then we got to go east. Yeah. So it's weird because from Massapequa Park, we had to go west to get to this roadway that leads to the beaches. We could have maybe gone east and took Robert Moses Causeway down. Oh yeah. And that would have brought us at the back end of Gilgo. So that's another potential route. But this is just a route that I chose. So that could also be another potentiality for a route from Massapequa Park. But I think it'll all be pretty much the same. And I'm almost certain the GPS, I set it from where we were, which was just a block away from First Avenue. So I hit route from there, and it always gives you the best route. So I think that the going east route to Robert Moses might have been far out of the way. This is the most direct Google Maps route. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you would have taken that different route. But again, all of this is speculative, but potentially could come down the radar and down the line in the investigation. So I think it's important that everybody just sees this about how close it is. And again, I'm driving the speed limit. If you're speeding, you could probably get down there a little quicker. But we're doing the speed limit, and we're already down close towards the water. To the right, you can see right straight ahead of us, you can see the bay here. And once we get past this bridge that we're going to go over, yep, I see the state police there. Is that park police?
State Environmental Conservation.
Oh, okay. So that's the New York State Environmental Environmental Conservation Police. So they're looking for any people that are dumping or maybe illegal fishing, so forth. There's the Jones Beach Amphitheater to the right. We're going to circle around and go right past that. That's where all the concerts, outdoor concerts, are held. And Gilgo is to the left as we come up around this curve. Gilgo is all the way up and to the left going east. Once we're on Ocean Parkway, I'll let you guys know. And let me know in the chat how the signal's holding up on this ride. This is very rare that I do this. And I don't think I've ever done this before. But I just had the idea to do this to give you guys a good concept of the distance. And, here we are. It says Jones Beach, New York State Park right there, that sign. We're just passing to the left. And we're going to come into a roundabout here. And this is in relation to our home, a 20, 25, 30-minute drive without traffic. And we go to the beach down here quite a bit, over the years. We haven't been here yet this year, but I mean, this is our go-to beach. Not necessarily Gilgo, but we have gone down there recently with that salt place. Not to Gilgo, but it's this way.
That's back.
Yeah, what is that beach called?
Cedar Beach.
Cedar Beach. So we've been to Cedar Beach. It's really nice. It's got like a concession there and a band plays at night. So we've been to Cedar Beach, but not this year. My brother kind of turned us on to that. And all right, so this is the roundabout that takes you down. Now we're on Ocean Parkway. As soon as we come around this roundabout, and the weather is shitty today, so nobody's out at the beach. There's no sun.
Exit the traffic circle onto Ocean Parkway East.
All right, this is Ocean Parkway right here. You can see the signs to the left. So now we are on Ocean Parkway. This is the parkway that right off this parkway where the bodies were recovered, the remains. But we're still here in Jones Beach. Thank you to the moderators and everybody that's keeping the chat civil. If you're not yet subscribed, consider subscribing. Give a thumbs up on the video. That always helps. Share it out. And again, as soon as we get down here, I'm going to make a turnaround and come back, and then we'll end the video. But we're still at the very east end of Jones Beach right now. And it will kind of tell you. The roadway gets narrower. I think it goes to 2 lanes when we get down to Ocean. Ocean Parkway in that Gilgo area. It definitely gets narrow. And then there's that homeowners association where Shannon Gilbert, where she was found. That's towards the end of Gilgo. And I'll probably turn into that parking lot down there and then make the turnaround. So we'll get to see at least the outskirts of that homeowner. There's a bunny. We're going to get to see the outskirts of that homeowners association where Shannon Gilbert went late at night for what was her last act before she either, according to Suffolk County Police, it was an accident, but where she was, I believe, either murdered or something nefarious happened. You listen to that 911 call that she made. I mean, people argue that she was in a psychosis from drugs. There's so many different theories on that, but I mean, it just seemed to me like she felt like she said at one point on that 911 call, I played it, what are you going to do? Kill me? You're going to kill me? She was saying to those people. It was horrific to hear that. So, but Suffolk County Police, they determined that it was an accident, that she ran into the high brush, and there's all water in that marshy brush, and she fell and she drowned. Is how they, I believe, labeled it. But yeah, let me know what you think about that in the comments. I know everyone's kind of, separated on that. Whether you're buying it or not. Let me know in the comment section down below. Just for future reference, for future shows, I'm going to be trying to get Dr. Joni Johnston. Dr. Johnston was on with Bill and Phil last night, but she's a forensic psychologist and she is a serial killer expert. And Bill was on a show with me and I introduced them, and we always cross-pollinate. And we also, Barbara Butcher I was introduced to her through Bill, so we always share all of our experts. So Dr. Joni, I think, has been on with me a handful of times on various different cases. So I want to get her back on with me and Ed, and I also want to get Melanie Little's take, and I want to get an retired FBI agent. So I'm going to reach out to Tracy Waldner and Jennifer Koffendorfer, and I want to get the FBI's take. So we're at Tobay Beach right now. We're getting close. You see the sign here to the left. It says Tobay Beach. And that's the surf shack. This is where the road starts to narrow. And just to give you guys a little idea, to the right is Atlantic Ocean, is the ocean. And to the left is the bay. So there's water to the left, there's water to the right. We're on Ocean Parkway. If you want to go onto Google, we've now entered Suffolk County. This sign right here to the right says Suffolk County. And as you can see, the road narrows a little bit. But yeah, here's a woman walking off the beach there. But this is, we're getting into that zone now, into the Gilgo zone down here. But I thought it narrowed to 2 lanes, but maybe I was mistaken. So we're still on 3 lanes. But the brush on the side here becomes much more, it has more depth. And right over these dunes is sand and the water. The beach is right there.
In half a mile, you will arrive at your destination.
Okay, so this Gilgo Homeowners Association is coming up here in a half a mile. And as you can see on the left, there's lots of really beautiful bayfront homes. And these are probably multi-million-dollar homes down here, very expensive. Remember, babe, we came down here and there was the kite surfing guys that we were watching? And we looped into that thing. I'm going to loop into that same location when we get down here. I think, right, it will be pretty clear, that big parking lot area where we turned around that time. Yeah, see, this is getting a little more narrow, but this is Ocean Parkway. This is the Gilgo area, and we're getting into areas where the various sets of remains were recovered. And again, like I said in the beginning of this, I'm not going to be stopping at specific spots. I'm just giving you an idea how quickly you can get to this location. And I was traveling 60 miles an hour. I'm not going over the speed limit. I'm driving the speed limit. So if you we're in a rush to get out here, you can potentially get out here much quicker. Even with the shitty weather, it's still really nice out here. Like, you get homes with, is this it here? No.
Why are you going to the right?
Well, for the turnaround. Oh, no, this is where the people go on the beach with their trucks, yes. So it's a little bit further. See, now it does get a bit more narrow now. So it's Babylon Town Beaches, Captree State Park, Gilgo Beach, New York. I could have turned right there. But I do want to go out here because this is the parking lot where I turned around is out here. So it does get eventually, wow. DutyRon, my memory is sometimes shot, but I was right that this road now is a 2-lane road, and it does get narrower, now more narrow here. Where was that parking lot where we drove in? Was that it back there? No, I didn't see it.
It's on that side.
Okay, I think it's coming up here. My wife and I always fight over memories, but it's funny. That's what couples do. But I know it's up here and to the right because the beach is over here and there's all these little summer homes here, and that Gilgo Association is down here and on to the right.
Then we went to put something on that side.
Yeah, it's the bay side, this is the ocean side. But yeah, we did. There was a walkway, but we stopped, and I got out and walked a little bit. And you saw the news reports, folks, in the chat. Suffolk County Police Commissioner Rodney Harrison, when he first got sworn in, him and the Nassau County Police Commissioner Ryder, they came out here together and walked that pavement that wasn't there when these bodies were discovered. 13 years ago, that pavement on the other side of the road going back was not there. They added that on. But you saw the news report of them walking that pavement because they wanted to get back into the crime scene to see it for themselves, where these human remains and the bodies were recovered. So it's interesting.
Where were they found? In here?
Yeah, down along here in this area. It's right where that sign is up there. Wow, everybody just to get in and turn around, because that's the end of it. The girl Shannon Gilbert that I was talking about, she ran within this association. She ran down the road, and when she was, this is the salt check, so it's down just a little bit past this. When she ran down the road and started knocking on the homes, that's what prompted the police to come out and do the searches. And then when they started searching for her is when they found the Gilgo 4 that this guy Rex is arrested for. So I think this is it. Or is it further? No. This is not it. There's nobody behind this. No. It's a little bit down, further past here. All right, so how's the signal holding up? I can't look at the chat, but I'm hoping that the signal is holding up, and it looks like we're still live, so I think it is holding up pretty good. Signal is good. All right, coming up on it now. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, these are all those nice houses that we were looking at when we drove back here. So there's a pull-off right here. And then when I pull off, I'll talk to you guys, and then we'll cut the video. For everybody for hanging in there with us. We're here at the location, so I'm gonna pull in now. Hopefully it's coming up. Yep, I see it right up there. flowers there. One of the remains. Yeah. We just passed the memorial on the right here, just up and to the right. And this association is right in here where I'm going to be pulling in, the Oak Beach Park, which is in Suffolk County. Yeah, I remember this.
It's all water in the park.
Wow, that's a parking lot. Holy shit.
Yeah, you kick
Look at
in
that
there.
water. That's a parking lot. So that's where I was going to go in to talk to you guys. But I'm going to just pull over here. This is where it's straight up here. This road where it says no outlet. I'm going to turn around. But this is where Shannon Gilbert went the night she went missing. And those frantic 911 calls are. Down this road to the end is this Oak Beach Association. I'll show you the sign. So it's a private property. I'm going to turn around. So this is it. So back up here. There's nobody on this road. It's really a remote area. Wow, that's some flooding back there.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. Oh.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
What? All right, so let me just turn this thing around and then talk to you guys for a second. I don't want to get stuck in this mud. Wow, I can't believe that water. It's a huge parking lot, and look at how it's up to that dumpster, halfway up.
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right, so again, like I said, I'm just going to pull over just for a second here because there's a car coming behind me. So that's that private association. Look, you can't even get into the road there where we drove. So here I am. Yeah, it is deserted, and it's it's one way in, one way out. And I could have driven down there. Maybe one day I'll come back here myself, and I'll drive down into that association, and I'll drive that route that we saw. I depicted it on my last live stream when I played that 911 call. Just by a show of hands, there's over 2,000 people here watching. Who watched that 911 call yesterday afternoon that I played? It showed the actual route that Shannon Gilbert ran while she was on the 911 call. That's right behind me here. It's right behind me. And if you, I've driven it myself. Me and Mrs. DutyRon did it like 2-3 years ago. Thank you for that super chat, Cat D, for Mrs. DutyRon. $20 coming in for Mrs. DutyRon. So I just, let me see if I can highlight that. Thank you, Cat D. Appreciate that. Mrs. DutyRon says thank you as well. So again, it just shows you how remote this area is and how out in the middle of nowhere it is. When the Suffolk County Police got the 911 call, she was changed over to the state police because this is covered by state police. This area is all policed by New York State troopers, New York State Police, not Suffolk County Police. So that was the ride. This is where it all happened. This is where it all started as far as the Gilgo 4 go. And the route that we just drove, I saw personally one memorial that was set up, a major memorial. And that has to be, if you look at the map down as far as we are east along Ocean Parkway, we are right at that location where Shannon Gilbert, her, the awful night of December 11th, 2010. So thank you for hanging out here with us. Yeah, she walked away from the John's house. A creepy neighbor showed up and freaked her out. She knocked on 2 doors or 3 doors. I believe it was 2. She knocked on a male door person at the end of this road back here. She knocked on his door. He actually asked her to come in, and she got freaked out and ran away. And then she ran to a woman, an elderly woman's home, who was with her mother. Her older mother was there, and she was frightened. She said, "I'm not going to let her in." She said someone's trying to get her, but I'm not going to let her in because it was 5:30 in the morning. I don't blame the woman for not letting somebody banging on her door. She's living alone with her elderly mother. You know, a lot of people were freaked out that she didn't allow her to come in. But what if she allowed her to come in and the people who were chasing her came in and harmed her and her elderly mother? So anyways, that's it here. Thank you for the super sticker coming in from KNS, $20. Thank you. Guys and girls, if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. We're going to end this right here out at the Gilgo 4 recovery zone. This was a ride from Rex Heuermann's home in Massapequa Park, straight out to Gilgo Beach and beyond. Again, we are here out where Shannon Gilbert, who arguably was instrumental in finding these other four victims. So prayers, strength, positive vibes to all the victims and their families and all the unknown additional victims that we may hear about in the future. And again, folks, Ed Wallace and I will be covering this from a forensic side. Ed is a retired crime scene investigator, a forensic expert. We're going to have Dr. Joni Johnston. We're going to have Dr. Hackett was a really weird dude. I've done a video on Dr. Hackett. Go and check it out. It's in my playlist. Bobby T, thank you for being here. Thank you, Lisa. Alexandria, drive home safe. Thank you. Appreciate that. Agati, always great to see you. Dawn Marie, thank you for keeping the chat classy. Donna Marie, thank you. Lexi, thank you. Thank you for all those super chats coming in. I appreciate it. Sammy Sosa, I haven't seen you in a while. Love to you as well, Sammy Sosa. I'm trying to find that super chat so I can highlight it. Where is it? There it is. Thank you, Sammy Sosa. I hope you've been well. Haven't seen you in a little while. Thank you. Thank you to everybody that's been here. We're going to get on our way back home. ATS News, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Thank you to everybody. Hey, listen, I do this. People get pissed off when I do this. You guys in the chat, my live, I do live streams all the time, but you guys in the chat, in the live chat, if you guys didn't show up, we'd have nothing here. So I give thanks and praise to you guys, the replay viewers, the super thanks folks, the super chatters, the moderators. You guys are what makes this a great place. So I'm giving thanks and praise to you no matter what, even if it pisses people off. I don't care. I love you guys. I thank you. Again, without you, we got nothing. So much love and respect from my house to yours. God bless all of these victims and their families. The families are the ones that are left behind to have all these what ifs and questions that aren't answered. So hopefully the police and the investigators can give them some closure. All right, guys, on behalf of Crime Time with DutyRon and Mrs. DutyRon, do you want to say goodbye to them?
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, she's so sweet. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. Robbie from Australia, appreciate you coming in late. Thank you to the new members, Margot A. Largo. I love that screen name. Margot A. Largo, thank you for being a new member. All right, guys, love and respect. Let's play the cop team. Kara, Oscar, and Popeye. Let's play that on the outro on this one. Good day from Gilgo Beach, Long Island, New York, and beyond. DutyRon out.